At this point, everyone wants to colonize Mars. So much so there's a 5-step article on it by the BBC. And that was in 2014, from before the actual space hype. To be honest, this would actually be a pretty cool video to run over. Subscribe if you want to see that. But what if we think outside of the box and we try to colonize Mercury? Well, according to Space.Stack Exchange, I did not know that existed. It could be possible. However, if you see my most recent video, it's kind of hard to trust the internet. So, how do we colonize Mercury? Let's find out. Here it talks about examples in science fiction. Now, I made a whole video about whether or not science fiction movies were real or fake. But here it goes back to the mid 20th century with people like Isaac Asimov and Leigh Brackett and stuff. But the only problem is, which was what astronomers believed at the time, which basically means it's not necessarily what we think now in terms of science wise. So it's time to take a look at proposed methods. Now, obviously, one of the problems with Mercury is it's a bit closer to the sun, so it's going to be super duper hot. But there is a solution to this, because there is technically just one side that is always super hot. One side of the planet that is facing towards the sun for extended periods of time. But that means that one day on Mercury is roughly 176 Earth days, which means one day lasts as long as 2 of its years. And here it's saying if a city were placed on the night side, so the place where it's not 427 degrees Celsius or 800 degrees Fahrenheit, and had track wheels, so it's kind of like a city on Hot Wheels, we could survive. I looked it up and all I got is Hot Wheels, to be honest. What if I do city on track wheels in Mercury? Images? Oh, no, nothing. So if presumably we can get that track thing going, then it's looking pretty good, because there's an estimated 100 billion to 1 trillion tons of water ice which could exist at both poles, which could be up to 20 meters thick in some places. I think this is observed by the Messenger probe back in 2012. So, this is promising. Okay, set for space, we get it. We can kind of colonize Venus. For science, kind of works. But how do we do it? Para-terraforming. So you've heard of terraforming, but what is para-terraforming? This is pretty much it. Making a greenhouse on another world. You can probably get the idea from this image. It's kind of like terraforming, but it's like something that you would probably see in the movies. This is a great image, but basically it's just like putting a big dome. And here it actually says the Waterhouse concept. Where is it? And it says here that we'd actually have to pump in a breathable atmosphere and then melting the ice to create water vapor and natural irrigation. Eventually, the region inside the dome would become a livable habitat, complete with its own water cycle and carbon cycle. Alternatively, the water could be evaporated and oxygen gas created by subjecting it to solar radiation, or a process known as photolysis. Wow. The only problem I see is about pumping in the breathable atmosphere. I I get that, but you still need to have quite a bit of breathable atmosphere that you've taken from Earth and flown all the way to Venus. And it's not like Venus is just a short rip down to your grandparents or something. And that's probably going to weigh quite a bit and take up a huge amount of space. So I'm not super sure. I mean, I guess in the end it would become self-sustaining with a water cycle and a carbon cycle and stuff. But yeah, I'm just not sure. But it would be pretty cool. Anyways, it seems a little bit more fun than colonizing Mars to me. Anyways, if you want to see how we can colonize Venus with cities in the clouds, just click somewhere here. Okay, bye.